I got my cap and gown. Like, do I have a gigantic head or what? Like, how is it supposed to stay on? Anyway. Okay, while I wait for my friend to be done, let me tell you. I started Project Hail Mary. I started reading it. I borrowed this from the library like last month, so I'm already late. I've seen the movie. I know pretty much everything that happens, but I'm like 80 pages in. I started this, I think, yesterday. It's actually pretty good so far. I really like the writing. It's a little like humorous, maybe in like a millennial humor kind of way, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's fun and it's really quick to read. So my friend was complaining one time. She was like, oh, you always say you're supposed to about a book, but you never like actually say what the book is about. So for those who haven't read or haven't seen Project Hail Mary, it's about a man that suddenly wakes up. He has no idea where he is or who he is. His memory has completely been like not wiped out, it's currently blank. And then he slowly starts regaining his memories. He realizes that he's a scientist and he is currently on a spaceship. And he has a mission of saving Earth, basically. Saving Earth because the sun is dying, blah blah blah, etc. So, oh, and like he notices like the crew that was on the ship with him, they're all dead. He's basically all alone out in space. And not for long though. Not for long. But yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I did finish a book, but I finished an arc, so I will be talking about it later. Ja, tak. This one I read. I didn't see it.
Take me back to California. I wanna go back to 2018. I wanna go back to when I was happy. So take me back to California, please. Take me back.
Hello, gorgeous.
Meeting my book club today, and we're also gonna watch the Odyssey. I don't know if I'm like supposed to feel excited or like if I'm gonna get bored because the movie's like 3 hours long. We'll see. So based on this, but then it starts like
لازم اعمل on my bags. Something else انا عليها كريم. اكيد.
Wait, can I comment what a bookmark? Do you have a bookmark?
On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous, which had atelier manga. Also, the guy she was interested in was a guy. Manga. And The Secret History.
Why live in just one when you can?
I don't know. You have wise eyes. Athena's eyes.
Fallen. Now they all tell stories of attacks by people from the sea.
And who are the people from the sea?
Vivi opened the closet door and switched on the light. I doubled back the way we'd come, partly to throw our pursuer off our track.
okay, so I finally finished Project Hail Mary, and do I have any thoughts? To be honest, I barely got through this. I only got through it because I listened to it like 90% on audiobook, which was nice. I have to say, like, the audiobook production was really, really nice. I don't think I would have been reading music notes for Rocky's voice. So the audiobook was pretty close, I would say, to the movie production, which gets me into my other point. If you're thinking of reading this, maybe just watch the movie. Like, I thought the movie was better. I thought the movie was definitely worth watching. This one might have been just like 200 pages too long. And even the character of Ryland, I felt like I just enjoyed him more in the movie. The thing is, for a book that has like 2 characters and only one of them is human, there isn't that much that's happening. There's just like a bunch of science, and I was just confused the whole time because I'm not a science person. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a humanities girl. I don't know what they were talking about most of the time. So the movie just really gives you that like visual effect that even if you don't really understand what they're talking, there's still so much happening on screen that you can't help but enjoy it. And like Rocky's little like, you know, visual, it really helped, I think, so much. But yeah, I would give it it wasn't bad. Like, I feel like also writing wise it was good, but I'd maybe give it 3 stars. As for enjoyment, maybe 2 stars, but it was a pretty decent book. So I think last week watched the Odyssey with my book club, and that I do have a lot of thoughts about. I didn't love it. I feel like everybody who loved it, there's so much praise online, there's so much praise, and there's so much hate as well. There's so much criticism, but mostly for all the historical inaccuracies. I am not like an expert by any means. I have not read the Odyssey except for like a small excerpt, which is Circe and the Cyclops. But like as a film on itself, I did not really enjoy it that much. I just think people are glazing Nolan so hard. I think that's the main reason why people are enjoying it. I did enjoy some aspects. Like the production obviously was huge, and I really respect that. Every time I see videos of like how they were producing it, how they weren't using any CGI, like the Cyclops especially, like that is amazing. That is such a grand production, and like I have so much respect for that. And especially the Cyclops scenes, like that was so insane to watch in theaters. Just like the sound, it looked so real. Like I was genuinely scared of the Cyclops. But that is the thing, I think they attempted to make it too realistic, that it just like felt really unfaithful. Like it doesn't make any sense to want to adaptate a mythological story and then just remove all the mythology from it. Like, there were not any gods in the movie. All the Greek gods, they were taken out of the story fully. And at first I was like, well, we have Athena. But that's the thing. I don't think Athena was actually a character in the Odyssey movie. I think Athena was just a projection of Odysseus's consciousness and guilt. They show us this later when they're destroying Athena's statue and how much guilt he has about that. And I don't know if I like that approach, but there are some major changes that I did enjoy. One of my favorite details from the movie was probably Agamemnon. The fact that we never see Agamemnon's face. He's always wearing his helmet. Speaking of helmet, that costuming was horrible. The costuming looked so bad. Why was Calypso wearing fishnets and a tortilla blanket? It was so bad. It was so bad. I'm gonna ignore all the Calypso thing. But the thing about Agamemnon, I really love that detail, and I saw a lot of people online talking about that detail, but they had interpreted it in such a different way. Everyone was saying that bro was aura farming the whole time, and like saying like, oh my god, they made the actor somehow seem attractive when he wasn't, or like, oh, Nolan was glazing Agamemnon by making him have so much aura. And that is not what I saw at all. When I saw Agamemnon in the adaptation, I was not seeing aura. The fact that he walked in like fully just like covered, to me it kind of symbolized how people who went to fight in the war, they were just following him not as a person but as a symbol. Like, it did not matter who the man behind the mask was, it just mattered his name and his power, and this is what they were fighting for. And the thing with like Helen as well is because the war was never actually about Helen. You know, it was, they wanted to go to war because they wanted to go to war, because they craved power and they wanted to destroy Troy. This is how I interpreted it, and I don't know if that's what like Nolan intended, but that is definitely what I took from it. And like the same way, Agamemnon himself was irrelevant. Like, once, the only scene that we actually do see his face is his most vulnerable scene. It's the scene where, spoilers if you haven't seen it, I guess, or read it, he's killed by his wife Clytemnestra, and then they show him and he looks so pathetic. And I think that's exactly the point. Like, to me, Agamemnon was like a violent and pathetic man, and he died a violent and pathetic death, and that just made so much sense. I really, really love that detail. And the same way, Agamemnon's supposed to be this very like present character. He wasn't really. He was present by name alone, but he was not really remembered by Odysseus. On the other hand, Sinon, who's just like a foot soldier, he's not supposed to be anyone of importance. He only had a couple scenes at the beginning, but the effect of his character, it just carried out throughout the entire movie. I loved that so much. And also Elliot, they just did such a good job with the character. I did not love all of the castings. I just felt like I was seeing the actors and not really the characters. I did not feel like they really embodied them. And I definitely don't think that the script and dialogue and like how modern they made it seem helped at all. I think it just made everything so much worse. Like, Anne Hathaway, especially as Penelope, just did not sell it for me. I'm sorry. But yeah, there were things I really enjoyed about the movie, and there were some things that I didn't really enjoy. I have to admit, I did get bored. I was worried that I was gonna get bored. I might have gone bored like just a tiny bit halfway through, but overall, like, it was a good movie. I feel like we could have done so much better, and I don't particularly love the direction they went through with this. Also, let me show you what I made. Oh my god, it's gonna fall. I don't know why this is like not stable. How cute is this? Yeah, that is definitely not stable, but anyway, it's like a dragonfly Lego thing. Okay, I just remembered one last thing I wanted to talk about the Odyssey movie. The whole time when I was watching the first half of the movie, I felt like Nolan had just intended to make it a war movie. Like that seemed like the main focus, even though the Odyssey is not about the war, it's about the journey back. It just seemed like he wanted to make it a war movie, so I was confused why not just adapt the Iliad, and then at the end find out the whole messaging was actually very anti-war. Like whatever they did at Troy was very unhonorable, and it just like followed them the whole journey back, and then at the end, like full circle, them discovering that they are the people from the sea, and that's because they broke Zeus's law. I like that. Like I like the messaging, but it just kind of did not make sense. It was just not very consistent. But yeah, that's the last. And my thoughts also. Peep the Junji Ito shirt. I mean, thanks for watching. Bye bye.